Welcome to the island of Sodor. Thomas & Friends 47 is brought to you by the premier Thomas online retailer, KaikeStore.com. Get the best ranges at the best prices today. And don't forget to use code 12TF47 to save 12% off your next order. For new and existing customers, that's 12TF47 to save 12%. All aboard for a big adventure! Hi guys, Thomas & Friends 47 here, and today we're taking a look at a rare Plarail set. This is the Transship with container super rail cargo set. It's a big name, a long name, and we can see here on the box, it just has great details on it throughout. Now, this confused me because I've never seen this set before. It popped up on eBay, and it really intrigued me, mainly because I thought the truck was motorized. I love those motorized road vehicles. And I decided to bid on this item and ended up getting it for relatively cheap. I'll tell you about the price and more about the rarity of this set at the end of the video. Anyway, here you can see classic Plarail packaging, and it just looks really awesome. Now, I'm not really sure of the year at this point when I was filming, because I couldn't see where it said the year anywhere on the box. However, there's a booklet inside that shows the year, and I'll show you that as soon as we get to the box. Again, though, on the outside you have great detail, including the comparisons to the real-life train that this is based on, and I think that's one of the best parts. Inside the box, you can see how it's packaged, and the track is underneath, and there's this little instruction card there, and then, of course, not to stick the engine into your hair. And you can see this booklet says from 2004. That means this set is 19 years old at the time of filming here in 2023. And there's a lot of great sets in here, sets that I dreamed of as a kid, someday potentially owning, and hopefully someday will own. You can see there's just so many great engines and cars they could add to your collection and really grow your Plarail engine and railway. Great track options too. Man, I wish we had track options like that again. Just absolutely incredible. There's also a guide for track plans, things about, I think, batteries. There's Tomex there, and of course, Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. It wouldn't be Plarail without Thomas. You can see there's a different road set there, which I'd never seen that road set before. And all these different Thomas accessories as well. There's also the Tomica Thomas, and the Motor Tomica. All those great vehicles there, Coca-Cola truck, police cars, all sorts of neat things. Again, it really I miss this type of advertising in train sets, because this is what got you excited to get these train sets and really build your world. And I did show every page of the booklet here just so that you could see what it was like, and we don't see this very often. I believe this was the time too they were phasing out the motorized road vehicles in favor of the more push-along vehicles, which I'm still sad about. There's even apparel items, food items, like literally everything Plarail. I wish we had this in the US. Alright, so now that we've seen that, this is everything that is inside the box once you take it out. You can see the different track, the straights, the curves, all of this different track and things, this great road track base, the road ramps, everything there. Alright, now let's take a look at the train itself, and you can see here it is a lovely engine. Now, you'll see that this container on the inside right there is non-removable. It's actually part of the body shell. The way they've done it, it looks good enough. It looks like you could remove it, and so I appreciate that. You also see that it says Super Rail Cargo on the front there. On the front of the engine, you have this nice glossy black windows. Really make it look like it's real glass. It shines. And you have the great headlight detail there. Looks like they're illuminated. Here's the other side. Here's the back, and you'll see a great door detail there too with handrails. Here's the top of the engine. You'll see the pantograph detail there. Of course, the silver container paint there. Very, very nice. And then here's the bottom of the engine. And this runs on a C battery, and you'll see on the front there that there's a lot of hollow space there. That surprised me a bit. Now here is the first train car. And you'll see it looks a lot like the engine, but it says Super Rail Cargo there on the left. You have vent details on either side, and of course Japan Rail logo there. Here's the front of the car, again with the door detail with the little handrails. Here's the other side of the train with a container there. Here's the back with no door. Here's the top of the car. And then if we remove the container, Or, well, excuse me, there's a pantograph detail. If we remove the container, you can see what the car looks like. Well, sorry, fell over there, but now you can see what the car looks like. Really simple, but very cool. Here's the bottom of the car. Now, I show all the cars in the set because they are slightly different. They are different from each other. You'll see here on the container too, it's just your standard TOMY container. You have the logos there, great detail and paint, very nice shiny silver. The top of the container, you can stack these on top of each other. And on the bottom, there's a magnet. We're going to talk about how that works in just a few minutes. Alright, here's the next car. You'll see that the Super Rail Cargo and the Japan Rail logo are actually switched on this car, so they're in different positions, which I thought was interesting. Here's a quick overview of the car. The other side. And the back, and you'll see that door detail. Here's the top of the car. Again, with a pantograph detail there. And of course, without the container. Here's the bottom of the car. Alright, and finally the end car or the other engine unit on this train. It's also nice that they include more than 3 cars, or more than 3 units. Usually it's always a 3-car set, this one's a 4-car set, so you have 3 cars plus the engine. Here's that with the container removed. See the vent detail on the sides, very, very nice. And this is basically just a dummy engine unit. For those who aren't in the model railroad hobby, we call a dummy unit a non-powered unit, so a non-powered unit would be what they call a dummy unit, because there's no, like, engine or details in it. Alright, now, on the back of the engine here, you will see some pretty cool stuff. So, the lights are turned out, and you have the red marker lights, so it makes it look like it's actually traveling in that direction. And on the front of the engine, the red lights are darkened, so it looks like it's actually turned off, because it's going forward. I love that detail. Stuff I wish Trackmaster would do. Alright, there's the car without the container, and then the bottom of the car, you'll see there is a little bit of hollow space at the front of the car there, too. Alright, now that we've looked at the freight car, let's take a look at the truck. Now, I thought this truck was motorized. It was one reason I bought this set, but it is not. This truck disappoints me quite a bit, because it still has the rubber wheels for it. It still has the front plastic wheels. You can see it does hold a container, which is nice. But the entire thing is made out of this very flimsy, brittle feeling plastic. And I don't think it would break, but it feels like it would, and I do not like that. Usually even the motorized vehicles are made out of like a metal. They have a metal shell. This just feels very, very cheap. You'll even see the little tab there where the motor part would go underneath and fit back over for the cover. And you can see the bottom there, they've just used that outside shell. There's a wheel with that, where the gears would be. So that disappointed me a good bit, but it is what it is. Alright, next up is this forklift. Now, I thought this was going to be my least favorite thing in the set, and it actually turned out being one of my favorite things in the set. So he has little Trackmaster wheels there, so that's that. But you see this button on the side, that actually lowers the forklift. You don't have to press down on like the top of the forklift, which I think is a very nice touch. At the front, you see little straps, and I'll show you how this works with the train later in the video. Again, you push that button and it just goes down to pick up those containers. Very, very cool. Here's the other side. And the back. There's also a chair, which we'll see that when we look at the top right there, that the TOMY kid can sit inside, which is interesting. And then there's the bottom. Just one screw holding this thing together. There's the magnet that holds the containers. And this is the TOMY kid that's included. For those of you who don't know what TOMY kids are, they're basically little figures that Plarail made to go with their trains. Personally, I don't like them because they're out of scale, but for younger engineers, they'll like these because they can use them with their train sets and use them as passengers inside the train, so I get why they're popular. They also have some limited posability there, and the head turns 360. Alright, so now that we've looked at everything that comes in the set, let's take a look at the set all complete. And this is a very large set. All those sections of track make a really long layout. And you can see here, we just start the engine. We let him go down the line. He rounds the curves. Past the scenery, which is not included in this set. And then he's going to come back to the terminal. So before he gets there, we're going to load the TOMY kid into the forklift. We're going to set the stop rail, and the train's going to come to a stop. Next, we're going to press the button on the side and lift the container off of the train. Now we're going to take that container over to the truck so I can take the goods to town. You can see I have some difficulty getting it off there. I didn't know how to disconnect it from the forklift at first. But it's a really simple system. You'll see more of that here. So now another truck pulls up. We're going to unload this truck and load it onto the train. And look how simple this is. You take and pick up the trailer, drive on over, and this is all hands-free. Press down and back away. That's it. Now you can start the train on its way after you load up the rest of the containers. And it's mesmerizing to do over and over and over. I found myself doing this a lot after filming too, just because it's so much fun. Alright, now once the train's loaded up, you can start it on its way. Alright, so this set is an absolute incredible set. I think my favorite thing about it is that you can do all of this unloading and offloading relatively hands-free. Now, of course, you're moving the forklift and everything, but you're not having to use your hands to pick up the container off of the train or press it down to make sure that it stays on. You just back away very slowly, and the container sticks to the train because those plastic notches that hold the container on. I think that's awesome. I think it's a great part of any train set, really, that you can, that you're involved in some way, but for the most part, it's also automatic. I think that's the perfect balance in any train set. It's hard to find that balance sometimes. Now, I say that this set's rare. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, TF47, you say things are rare that they're not really rare. How I judge rarity is by how often I see them on eBay or the price I see them online. If I see an item that's very expensive, I'm going to say that's probably more rare because, it's expensive. It's not a set that a lot of people are going to be able to afford, which is a sad thing. I wish those prices would come down. With this set, there were only 2 on eBay at the time of looking when I was looking for this set. There was this one that started out at $69 on bid, and then the other one was $1,225 for buy it now. So it really surprised me at how expensive this set was. And when I made the bid for, I think I bidded $100 on it, but it started at $69. I really didn't think I was going to get this set for that price. I thought someone was going to come and bid me up, or that I just wouldn't be able to purchase that set because the seller would cancel it or something because of that price. So when I got it for the $69, I was very surprised but very happy to have gotten this set. And I can't really seem to find much information on this set other than what I saw there on eBay. But I have to say I do love it. So would I recommend you purchasing this set? If you can find it for a good price, absolutely. The functionality of this set, the way that you're able to use the forklift and unload cargo and load cargo, it's everything about a train set that a train set should be. You're just unloading cargo, moving it places, going on all these adventures. There's a lot of track where you can run the train for long periods of time. Even if you already had an existing layout, you could easily just buy this set, run the engine on your layout, and use this track to expand that layout further. Anyway, I cannot say enough good things about this set. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye for now.